I think traditional relationships, people put too much pressure on the one person to be all things. Can you be the provider? Can you be my soulmate? Can you have fun with me? Can we have adventures? Can we have romance? Can we have great sex? Can you fix the shed? Like, it's too much stuff. So my way is going, okay, I can get different things from different people in my life, male and female. So I've created this life where I get support in all shapes and sizes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Love, Laughs, and Lessons. I'm Dr. Frankie.
And I'm Denise Ray. And today's guest is Maureen Pound. And she is not here to play small, not at all. She is a self-made millionaire, solo parent by choice, entrepreneur, property investor, and now the author of How to Get Laid on Tinder for Men Who Care. You might know her from her TikTok, where her account at How to Get Laid on Tinder has earned a loyal following for its sharp, funny, and brutally honest take on modern dating, sex, and money. Maureen built a fortune before the age 40, decided to become a mom on her own, and has made a life out of questioning the rules most people blindly follow. Whether she's talking about online dating, tax strategy, or why women should be having better sex, she does it with zero fluff and a whole lot of substance. Today, we're going to get into it all. Motherhood, money, men, the book, and why people need to stop performing and start getting real. Maureen, welcome. So happy to have you.
Thanks, Denise. That's one of the best intros I've ever gotten.
Really? Yay! Woo.
Nailed it.
So tell us a little bit more about you and up to how the book came to be and why. We're so curious.
Yeah. So I'll cut to around age 35 where my biological clock was ticking, and I decided that I needed to madly date to find a partner because I really wanted children. I'm, one of 9 children. And so I had lots of dates, went out with a few guys, everything from the banker to the artist, and no one wanted to marry me, and I didn't really want to marry them, but I still wanted the children. So at age 40, I had my first anonymous sperm donor child, and at age 42, I had my second. And then spent the next, 5 years exhausted, blissfully exhausted, I say, raising my children. And then it was that point that I realised that I hadn't had a date or sex for about 7 years. So I decided that I would get back on the bike, so to speak. I was very, very nervous. I got a couple of male friends helped me to navigate Tinder, because the last time I dated was not the apps. It was more like RSVP, and, it was more of a process, whereas this is like swipe, and I hadn't done it before. So I went on this journey for a couple of years, swiping and dating and having a lovely time and learning a lot about myself and about the men I was dating. And a lot of them struggled. And I'd give them pointers. And sometimes it wasn't rocket science. It was simple things like, really bad photos or not a photo of their face. And how's a woman supposed to connect to you if she can't see your face? So one of them said flippantly, "You're really good at helping me. You should write a book." And that's how the book came about.
Yeah.
And you took that person seriously.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Yes.
So I heard you raised 2 kids on your own.
Yeah.
And when you didn't do any dating, it sounds like, for those bulk of those years, and then felt like, I got to get out there. The clock is ticking.
Yeah. No, I felt like, I don't know, I just missed the company of men and their energy, and I liked them. So, and I went out there not really knowing what I wanted. Like, I don't think I ever really wanted a partner. So, a traditional partner. And so, I just went out and did it my way and learned a lot.
And what is that? So what's your way now? Because it sounds like it's sort of atypical.
So, my way is traditionally, I think traditional relationships, people put too much pressure on the one person to be all things. Can you be the provider? Can you be my soulmate? Can you have fun with me? Can we have adventures? Can we have romance? Can we have great sex? Can you fix the shed? Like, it's too much stuff. So my way is going, okay, I can get different things from different people in my life, male and female. I'm a kind person. I attract good people into my life. And so I've got this tribe of people, and not huge number of people, say 4 or 5 people, who provide all those things to me. They're just different people. So I have a couple of lovers, young lovers. I have a best friend who takes my kids shopping for my birthday presents and Mother's Day presents every year and then does something special. And then I've got my business partner who challenges me, and then we have fun together. And then I've got my buddy who I go away on holidays with. So I've created this life where I get support in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So can I play devil's advocate a little? Because I'm thinking, this comes up a lot in my practice because I'm a psychologist, as you know, and I work with folks who are practicing polyamory, ethical non-monogamy, and so on, like less traditional ways of being in relationship. And the question comes up sometimes, which is like, well, don't you feel like there's an avoidance of intimacy because you've got multiple partners? How can you really be that intimate and connected? It's one partner is hard enough, right? It's so hard already to be in relationship with one person. How do you do that with multiple people?
So there's 2, and one's been 8 years and one's been 5 years. And the 8-year one's been most consistent. And I think it's a great question. I feel safe. I feel like there's a connection. But then the bigger question is, can you have intimacy without a lot of words, without deep conversations with someone? So I don't know the answer to that question. And there's some level of intimacy that I really like this person as a person, and I don't want anything more with this person. So, for sure. Maybe I am, like, I totally agree with you. But do I care right now? Not really. I'm happy with the level that I've got. And it could change.
Yeah.
In time. But I also don't want to bring anyone else. I feel very strongly about bringing anyone else into my happy little family situation.
Well, you touch on something really important, I think, which is if this feels like it's working for you and you're happy and like it's mutually beneficial for everybody involved and it feels fulfilling, then that's great. I mean, the question is like, maybe that's not enough intimacy for somebody else, but it's enough for you and your partners. So there's not a one size fits all.
Yeah. And right now that might change. That's the other thing too. When I was exploring writing the book, like, people get stuck on having to be clear on what they want and what they need. And I think it's very fluid. And I love that you've raised it, because maybe that is something that I want in the future. Do you know what I mean? I want to be more open to be more intimate, and maybe there's more connection there that I could have. So, and give to someone else. So, I think it's good to stay fluid as well.
Yeah. I think it's also freeing, when you are not, I guess tied is not the right word, but I also think it's very freeing when there's no labels to what the relationship is. There's more of an understanding and an intention, but not necessarily a label of mine or, this kind of possessive thing that we tend to do in relationships, right? This person belongs to me, therefore X, Y, and Z shouldn't be happening. Whereas the way that you're doing it, there's no expectation. It is truly 2 people coming together for the sake of, whatever that commitment is between the 2 of you. And that sounds so freeing and so beautiful to me, my opinion.
Yeah. But I do, like, I'm really open to, I think my longest relationship has been 2 years. So I haven't really got that part of my life. Like, part of me goes, I don't really know how to do it. And I hope in the future maybe I will. And even the flippant title of the book, How to Get Laid on Tinder, when I researched it, I found that actually most men want relationships at some stage of their life. They don't like being alone, especially older in life. So I didn't write the book to say, hey, I'm an expert in relationships. I did it to share my experiences and almost like to get to a relationship part where you're meeting people and you're having conversations and that's maybe another expert or somebody else can take over from there. Mine's more like, how do you get people off the app? How do you be interested in people and ask good questions? And if you're going to do sexting, how do you do it well and kindly and with respect and all those sorts of things?
Yeah. So let's hear some of this stuff.
The sexting one comes up a lot. People are like, oh, I don't know. I'm curious about it. I want to do it. I just don't want to sound stupid. I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to be silly. All these fears.
Right time. Yeah.
I think, so I found out that it's very good for relationships. I don't know, Dr. Frankie, if you've seen this research as well. And especially people who, might be away from each other or, even just a little spark. So in long-term relationships, it can be really good. And it can be also good in sharing with someone the things that you like or that you might hope to have with the relationship with however long that is, even if it's a one-time thing. And so it's a good way of like testing the water as well and being a bit cheeky and seeing what reaction you get from the suggestions. Where it goes wrong is sometimes with guys, they will test the water, they'll do it well, they'll ease into it, and you'll have this really good, sexy banter. Mm-hmm. And then they'll go, oh, that was really good. And then the next day at 9 a.m. they do it when the woman's trying to take her kids to school or, and they'll just jump right in again.
Yeah.
So that's when you can be like, no, you've always got to warm up. You've always got to test the water. So I often say to men, just be a little bit of innuendo and see what you get back so that you're always being respectful and not too over the top. And then, move with the person. And so what I did actually in the book, I put myself out there a bit, and sometimes I was like, oh, is this ever going to come back to haunt me? I actually put a sexting conversation in there between a guy and I because he did it so well. And I'm like, I used to be an English teacher back in the day. I'm like, oh, let's look at the language. And I realised that what he'd done is in everything he complimented me within it. So we'd had sex in another town. I'd come back to Melbourne. I was on a business trip. And then he wrote to me and we relived it and it was really good fun. But each time was a compliment within it. That's so right. I'm like, this is helpful. Men are quite structured beings. So I put it in the book and I went, this is why that works. This is why this works. So, hopefully people will get a few ideas.
Yeah.
Because we need a lot of assistance right now, Maureen. I don't know if you're feeling that, but I feel like we are floundering out there trying to figure out how to get it right. We don't have as much experience and exposure like, 20 years ago out there in the jungle, in the wild, interacting, flopping, right? You make mistakes, you learn from them. Now it's just you don't get opportunities really other than through a screen, which is hard.
Yeah, and it really is. And I've been speaking to even, the guy who does my remedial massage, and he is a good-looking business guy. He's got big blue eyes. He's like really, traditionally good-looking. And he's just come out of a relationship and really he's 35, he wants to have children. Like he wants what a lot of women want, and he's even finding it a bit tough at the moment. Yeah. So just getting that from the first part, getting them off the app. And I think that's really important. So people get despondent because they spend too much time on the app and put all their eggs in the one basket. I think you really have to speak to a few people and get them off the app. either get them on the phone or, meet for a coffee or a walk or whatever that next step is, but not spend too much time back and forth getting your hopes up, and then for them to, remove your match or not talk to you anymore, or say no when you ask them out.
Yeah. Years ago, when I was on they weren't called apps then, but when I was on the sites, we used to call them the sites. I found that the conversations weren't interesting, and that would bore me. And so I would be like, next, because you just didn't have anything to say. So can you speak to that and give people some gems of how to just be interesting?
Yeah. So most people are interesting when they show interest in others. So it's not rocket science. So number one, men and women start with, hey, hello, hi. Dun dun, no deal. Like, you've got too much competition, mate. Like, seriously, to start with that.
Go.
A good thing, yeah. And then the other thing that women get is hi, sexy, hi, beautiful, right? And again, there's too many openings like that. So I would suggest, for instance, my business partner, who is obese, but she is a weightlifter. She's strong, right? One of her pictures is her lifting weights. Why don't, as your opening line, wow, I love the photo of you lifting. I love a strong woman. Now, would you feel compelled to write back to that? Women want to be seen for more than the physical. So find something else to start a conversation about their interest or, their vibe or just something. So if you can start strong, I think it's really, really helpful. And the other thing that happens is guys go, well, I ask questions. So they'll ask a question, what are you doing on the weekend? And the woman will answer. And then they'll ask another question. So it's just like communication 101. She's giving you something on a platter. She's saying, oh, my God, I'm catching up with my great aunt I haven't seen in 20 years. Comment on the thing that she's shared with you. Then you might ask another question or comment, build connection. Comment on what you're doing on your weekend or comment on your great aunt. So it's like the good old basic skills of communication. And I think if I'm a woman speaking with a man and he's asking me questions and I feel like he sees me, then I think it's gold.
Mm-hmm.
So, so that's one thing. The other thing is not to get on apps when you're feeling like shit. So often we want to hit a dopamine. So we'll jump on and go, this is going to make me feel better. And it doesn't, because you react differently when you're not feeling that great about yourself. And so one thing that one day might spark interest might annoy you the next day. So I just stay away when you're feeling like shit.
So just going back to the sexting idea, sometimes I hear that people can be good at sexting and they get you all worked up, and then they don't actually, when you meet in person, they don't deliver. All of a sudden they're meek or passive, not so confident, even avoidant. What do you suggest in that situation? And this happens a lot with men. You're trying to, go ahead.
Yeah, I totally agree.
They're like, where is it? I thought you were so confident. I thought you were going to bring it. What happened?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's very true. But part of it, I think, is getting to know. It happens more like in one-night stands and situations where you don't see the person, and there's all this pressure. So with that one, one suggestion might be to actually talk about it when you just mention it, or, when you're in the throngs, or go back for seconds and explore each other, and, and then you can get a bit braver. But I think it's really, it's very common.
It's like a disappointment, right? You get lifted, and then all of a sudden you're just dropped. And it's hard to be like, oh, I'm going to give him grace. I'm going to just give him another chance. Because then you feel like he just misrepresented himself.
Yeah. Or just be a bit cheeky. Like, oh, I love that bit about the toe sucking. And so, and then it's like, oh, he's got permission as well. Because sometimes guys are, they're just not sure and they're nervous. very nervous, often very nervous. So I think just being a bit cheeky and bringing the confidence yourself to then give the other person confidence, I think is good. But just a cheeky one-liner here and, oh, I'd love it if, or just see what happens.
Yeah. So kind of be more assertive as a woman to maybe make it a little easier on them to.
Yeah. And it's really hard to be assertive, even if you are an assertive woman outside the bedroom. I think it's a different ball game. And sometimes, you're nervous or you don't know the person well, or sometimes it is hard. So just being brave and just, giving it a go, I think is worth it, and just seeing what happens.
So then what happens? So you get off the app. Now you're meeting in person. What's the next thing? Like, can you jump in the sack right up on that first date?
Yeah. So I think 40% of current relationships in America are from apps. So it's huge. People still don't talk about it. You don't go and tell great Aunt Martha that you you did, meet on the app. You met through a friend. Some people still say that sort of stuff. So I think when you go on the apps, you've got to work out what you want right now. So, because some people avoid getting on because it's like, oh, I don't know if I want a long-term partner. I'm not really sure what it is. Just work out what you want this week, and then put it out there and see what happens. So, for instance, I went, oh, I just want sex. I haven't had sex for ages. Like, that's what I wanted. And then I did that, and I go, oh, actually, I want a bit more. So then I used to say, oh, I'll play golf or tennis or go for a walk. And I put it there.
Yeah.
And then I met really great guys, and I'd, play tennis or go for, walk. And it was, it was really fun, and there was more of a build up, because I think what's a bit sad today is, in the times where you meet people at a bar and you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, am I going home with him tonight?
It's exciting.
Is he going to my number? Are we, what's going to happen? Is he going to ring me? And so some guys, I think it's a bit, they want this definitive, am I going to get sex tonight? And I think it's a real shame, because I don't know. I've never met you, and I don't know if we're going to connect and if I'm going to like you or you're going to like me. So I think if people can just let go of that and just enjoy meeting people and seeing what happens, I think that would be really, really helpful. Some people do really like to lock it in, which is fine if they're coming over. But even then, you can never really lock it in, because you've got to be respectful and see whether there's still energy when you meet.
So is it fair to assume, even if you want to be casual and you put that in your profile, that you're not looking for anything serious and that you're open for casual connections, that once you get there, you may not feel it, and it shouldn't be expected that something sexual is going to happen?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I even remember years ago, this is before the apps, this was on RSVP, and it must have been many years ago, because I don't think I had a picture, and I was having conversation with this guy, and we met at this bar, and we got one drink, and he goes, no, this is not, sorry, I'm not feeling it, I'm leaving. Like, he didn't even stay for a drink. And then I go, actually, that's fair. Do you know what I mean? I didn't have a picture. Like, he made the call. Good.
Oh, my gosh.
Poor little heart hurt.
I feel for you. My heart is feeling for that experience that happened. Yeah.
The thing is, I like to own my stuff. And so I just go, what part did I play in this? So, and then other times I've had it where people have expected it and not feeling it. And you're just like, no, I'm sorry. So people have the right to change their minds, males and females.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I like how you just kind of you felt a pain. You felt some pain from the rejection, which is natural and normal. We're going to feel pain from rejection, but you didn't really allow it to knock you down. You were like, okay, ouch, moving right along.
Yeah. And I've learned, and maybe because I'm older as well, I've learned that, because even when people unmatch you, I don't even like the term ghosting. Like, we didn't have that years ago. John didn't call you back 20 years ago. You didn't go, oh, he's ghosted me. Like, the connection's gone for whatever reason. And sometimes people ask you for, a reason, and then you can't give it to them anyway. So I often, if I just say, look, I don't think we're a good fit or whatever, people usually ask why. And then you try and you don't really know why. And then you're trying to give an answer. So sometimes people just disconnect, and I think it's for the best. It's nice if they usually say something, but if they
This
don't,
elusive
then
thing
it's
called
okay.
chemistry. Chemistry,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
sometimes it's just not there, and we don't know why.
That's right.
You're like,
Yes.
you're a good-looking, you're a fine-looking person.
I just don't.
And I'm enjoying the conversation, but I don't want to make out with you. Like, that's okay. Right?
Yeah. So, I got this great message from one guy. Like, we had a few dates, and I was so disappointed because this in the stage where I was like his relationship material. He was just, oh my God, he bought a new outfit for like all the traditional things that girls are supposed to like, the beautiful car, the attentiveness, picked me up. It was just, perfect. And he kissed me. I just couldn't. And then he sent me the most beautiful message. It was like something like, I think our ships are just sailing in different directions, or something like, just that was the breakup thing.
Yeah.
And it hurts, even though I knew that it wasn't going to work. But that's just part of life. You get rejection in all parts of your life, and dating is just the same as that. And it hurts, and you go, oh. And you get blamey, and you go through all the stages, and then I find that if you get back on the horse, it makes it easier.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Denise, you want to go? And then I'll hold it.
Keep back on.
You know my menopause brain. I might lose it.
No,
Yeah.
go ahead, grab it. Don't lose it.
Through.
You're part of the menopause club.
Yeah, oh my gosh. All right, I think I still have it. All right, so how do you feel about this idea that you should be experiencing fireworks? And when you meet somebody, if you don't feel that like amazing energy that draws sexually to them, then don't bother trying to go on a second date, because it's just not there. And there isn't really a possibility that it could be there. What are your thoughts?
That's a really good one. Haven't we all heard about those people who worked in the office together and this one day it just happened?
Yeah.
And so I think that there is the possibility, and that people shut down the possibility. But the caveat is that because you're in a situation where you're looking, it makes it, there's added pressure of, I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to waste that person's time. We're both looking for something. Whereas in other parts of your life where you just get to grow to know someone, then one day you go, oh, I got some tingles. Never got that before. So it's not organic anymore. And so therefore it becomes really, really difficult. Like with that guy who said our ships are sailing, I wanted to have a few more dates to see if it would grow, but he didn't. And so I had to respect that, and I was hurt. And so now my story around it, because I create stories to suit me, my story is it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
Just to be kind to myself and deal with it myself. But ideally I would have gone, look, we kissed, there was no fireworks, particularly on my part. I know I didn't give you anything, but I'd like to try, but he didn't want to.
I think also like the chances of having fireworks when you're 40 plus years old, or even 35 plus years old, those chances decrease. Just because we have more life experiences, we've experienced disappointment, loss, trauma, all of that, which naturally causes us to get a little more guarded and protective. We don't want to repeat those failed relationships. So it makes us more hesitant, more ambivalent, more resistant, less open. And that's why I believe we need more time and exposure to that person to see, could this develop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when,
Sure, isn't it?
Yeah. It's funny though, because I think that my soulmate, the one person that I will love to the rest of my life, happened after 40. And it was so hot and steamy that we probably could have burned a building down. Right. And I've never felt that with anyone else, that the lust, the intensity, oh my gosh, but totally not right for each other.
So
Totally.
that's the other piece. Yes.
So all of those factors were there. We had good communication, blah, blah. He was doing something totally different. Wanted to live in Alaska, off grid, kill deer. I was a vegan.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Rabbit or
incompatible.
incompatible.
Yeah.
I just want to say, I've got a friend who she used to go, look, my husband's not the best person who's ever gone down on me, but you don't marry that person. He's great, and we're hot, and it's a really good relationship. But it's like, in some ways, sometimes it can be separate, can't it?
That's right.
It also can be connected to trauma. When we've got that kind of activation, it can be reminiscent of something from the past that actually didn't work out well for us, but we're not aware of it because we just remember the chemical excitement and energy around it, but it's not conscious.
That's not. Yeah.
Mm-mm. So I think it's important for us to be aware that these things could be at play and to not cut opportunities out, like not to foreclose opportunities because right from the beginning, you're not feeling that intense lust or fireworks. Yeah.
And that's what I really like. I don't know if it's happening in the States, but here in Australia, a lot of younger people are getting off the apps. So from the 18 to 25-year-old groups, and even where I live, it's really inner city, all these running groups have come up, like hundreds of running groups. And so they're meeting to exercise. And I'm sure there's, a bit of fun happening in those groups and dating. And it's like, oh my gosh, we're regressing back to, but in a good way, the opportunity to do common activities and meet. Because here in Australia, there's not the church groups like there used to be. There's not the, the youth groups. We used to have blue light discos that the police used to run, and the little teenagers and stuff, and it's not the same. So I like that from what you said, Dr. Frankie, about that not giving it a chance. Maybe if it's a combo of apps and those other things, then there is a chance because you are getting to know people and wanting and opening up to sparks happening over time.
Also, you touch on something important.
Yeah.
The joint activities, getting involved in, engaging with new people around activities that you enjoy. So you're already kind of maybe more like-minded because you're also drawn to similar interests.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Denise isn't going to go deer hunting anytime soon.
No, not at all. Though, listen, I wanted to.
I mean,
we both wanted it, but the realization that we were just like, no way. But I'm telling you, if you put us in the room together, it was, people would walk up to us literally and be like, what the heck? Like, you two are, you could feel it.
But you're open to, like, I ate a steak next to you and you didn't run away. So just because you're vegan doesn't mean that you won't hang with.
We wouldn't be hunting deer.
No hunting deer. Yeah.
You're not like stacking them up in our deep freezer. And like, he goes like, I remember like we connected and I was talking to him on the phone and I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, I'm hunting rabbits. And he showed me a picture. Like he would, walk this trail and he's killing these rabbits. And then on the way back, he's picking them up. I almost threw up. I was like, oh my God. After that, I'm like, dude, I can't even imagine kissing you at this point. Like my stomach is flipping, but
like in survival, like he'll be feeding you.
He would be the person I would call. And then Alaska, I can't take the cold. My bones would be like, it just wasn't happening. It just wasn't happening. But forever will be the love of my life.
Oh my goodness. That my heart again.
Yes. Yeah. My bestie, like the one, like all those things. And just I've cherished that I had that experience with him, and it's beautiful.
But what about the idea about compromise too? Like if it was that amazing, I guess it depends. Are two people, are they willing to compromise? Like
Too
maybe
drastic.
not live too
Dr.
drastic.
Frankie, too drastic of like, I'm telling you that what we had was great communication, good conversation, amazing sex. But there's so much more. Our thoughts about how we raise our children and religion and politics, like all of those things didn't line up.
Got it. Yeah.
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 But it sounds like you've got like those special memories and you're content with it.
Absolutely. And an amazing friendship that's unwavering.
Yeah.
If ever he needed me or vice till today. If ever he needed me or I needed him, he would be there in a heartbeat.
And that's so important to have people like that in our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, okay. So the idea is to not put all your eggs in one basket, Maureen, that's what I'm hearing, and to take some risks as women to kind of help the guy out with maybe flirting, giving them permission, especially now with Me Too. I think that many of them are just afraid to overstep. So they're naturally, they may be a very chivalrous type of guy, but because of feminism and Me Too and them wanting to be respectful, not get themselves in trouble, the pendulum swung so far over, they're really kind of pulled back.
Yeah. I think it's really tricky for them in a lot of ways. I remember sitting on the couch with this guy and we chatted for hours and he wasn't making a move. And I'm like, what's going on, dude? In the end, I'm just like, and so, touch them on the knee or just give them something. I heard this really good one and I think it would be acceptable, but they say for a man, a good way to find out if a woman is interested or she'll let you, kiss her is if you touch her hair in some way. So you might say, oh, there's something in your hair. And if she goes like that, no deal. But if she sort of leans in or whatever, then, so I thought that was a really interesting one where it's, you can say, oh no, like I was trying to get something out of your hair, or, you can save face a little bit. I thought that was quite cute. And then there's the good old, are you, if she's letting you, if your knees are touching, like if she's touching you, if she's leaning over, all those sorts of signals, I think, really helpful. And also to get women to speak up more in a positive way towards men. So where I'm going with this is one of the reasons I wrote the book is I feel women, and for good reason, sometimes are always what they don't want or what's wrong, or men are always like this, or they do this, or they ghost me all the time, or they this, and And so I really wanted to tell them what we do want. Rather than just so come from a really positive perspective. So here are some things that you can do, like the hair thing. I've even got a bit in there about who pays, right? So I've got this, again, I love my conversational things. So I've gone, if you say, here are the scenarios. She's either going to go to the ladies' room and you pay. You're going to go up there. You're going to say, I'll pay. And she says, oh, thanks. Done. You're going to say, I'll pay. And she says, oh, are you sure? And then you say, yes, I'd love to pay. And then she goes, great, thanks. Scenario 3. Scenario 4, I'll pay. No, you won't. And if she's really like, no, I'm an independent woman, we're going to go half. Then you go with that. So even a little thing like paying is so, can be so complex. Most women, by research, still like men to pay on the date, especially the first date, no matter how successful they are. But there's a few that don't. So I'm trying to go, look, here are the scenarios, try and read the signs. And then also for women to just try and say what they want and be more direct as well.
What about just asking?
That's not.
I would love to treat you. Is that okay with you? It's like getting consent. I'd love to kiss you.
Or is this my, there you go. Just ask.
Yeah.
I think that's the part that we're missing. And I don't know why we've become so afraid to just ask for what we need or say what it is we want.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Yeah.
No, I think that's a great point. The good old simple question.
Communication.
Communication.
I know. Why is it so hard? It's just getting harder because we're so used to texting and emailing, right? Like,
and rejection has become so painful. Like it's, you know, like when you were saying earlier, he said no, he didn't want to see you again, and you kind of like, oh, ouch, and you moved on. People seem to get stuck and they're not able to move on.
Yeah.
We've gotten soft.
Yeah. And I think so. I'm youngest of 9 children, right? So my dad was like 46 when I was born. So he was born in the 1920s. And so by the time the 1940s came around, the way they met women was they went to local dances. This is my own father. He would go to local dances and the women would have dance cards. So the men would go up and say, and I thought this was the dark ages, but it was my dad, you know, can I have a dance? And they'd write their name on the card. But some of the women would just say no. So you are not, women and men are complaining about rejection from someone you've never met behind a screen, like the safety of being in your own home. Here you are in front of hundreds of people going up to a woman for her to say no, going up to the next woman for her to say no. Some nights you might have had a freaking bad night, you know?
I think more often than not, men get rejected.
That's right.
All the time if they're willing to take the risk, right?
Yeah.
But eventually, somebody says yes.
I know. My good old mate, I used to work at Hewlett Packard, and he used to go to me, you know what? And he wasn't the most beautiful, you know, physically, you know, traditionally beautiful man. He's had a good charisma. And he'd just go, it is a numbers game. If I ask enough women, eventually one's going to say yes. Like, and that's, you know, he's just like, that's why salesmen do so well.
It's just keep the key.
If you want to be good at dating, do some sales for a while.
That's right. You almost have to go in with that attitude.
Like successful in business. All the rejection and, you know, you just keep going. So I think we all need to get, we've gone a bit soft in that way. And I think we just need to harden up and go, you know, you don't get the job. You don't get the leadership position at school. You get picked last for the baseball team. You know, like it just happens in life and eventually you'll get some yeses.
Yeah.
That's true.
We got to toughen our skin up.
Yeah.
And
build that dating muscle, right?
Yes. And exposure. It's like anxiety. It's all about the fear, right? The anxiety behind it. And if the more you do it, the less you're going to feel nervous and fearful about it. The more you experience that rejection, you're like, oh, it didn't kill me. Ouch. Yeah. Moving right along.
Yeah.
It's when we don't get the... Yeah.
What really annoys me at the moment is there's all this stuff out in the media about, you know, the top 10% of guys on dating apps getting all the women, you know, whatever. And I just go, no, it's not the case. That look, there are some elite-looking men, you know, traditionally beautiful men or whatever. But there's so many. My friend also, she just laughs because she goes, I do like ugly men, don't I? It's just not important to me. Like,
you know, people like nerdy guys. I have all the time clients.
Yeah.
They want a nerd.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I like brains. And so it's just sort of like all these different, you know, and when I've sat there with my friends and we don't agree. We don't agree on the men. You know, I've got a friend who really likes Asian guys and another one, you know, and it's like I like freckles and, you know, and so it's just, you know, you like what you like. And so there's plenty out there for everybody. So I need to get off this, oh, I'm not good looking, or, you know, you've got to take accountability. Put some good photos of yourself up. Don't have 6 photos all with Dave, John and Bob. Dave, John and Bob. Dave, John and... Which one are you?
Which one are you? That's right.
Don't make it hard work for us. So, no,
I thought it was the other one.
And then you're disappointed. But it doesn't take much to just, put some effort in and you'll, and you've got to do the work. It's like, oh, I tried golf once and I can't do it. Like you hit the club once, as if anyone would get away with saying that. I tried tennis once and I couldn't do it. But I've tried an app once for 10 minutes and it's shit.
Yeah.
I think that's bullshit. I think you need to put in some work.
You get out of it. What do you put into it? What is going on? If you put in the effort and the time and the intention, you're going to get something out of it. Right?
Yeah.
It may not be
same dating. You've got to put in the time.
Put something in. Put the effort in and give it some time.
If you put something in, you get to put something in.
You get to put something.
Oh, one thing I know, that you went there, and I had a thought. Men also think that, because it's all over, right? That women are only into men that are very well endowed, which is a lie. And they believe it.
No,
I'm going to generalize. Most men, I think, believe that, and it's not true.
No.
So it's speaking to what you're saying, but
I'll give you another one.
Oh, another one.
Personal trainer, and he's a classic. And he goes, I'm not very well endowed. So I said, when I was researching the book, so I said, how do you get around that? Because you're quite popular with the women. And he goes, I've got this little thing that I do. We'll go out and have drinks. And he goes, I tell him, I go, I've got a small willy or something. And he gets lucky every time.
I love it. It's how you use the willy.
They don't believe him. So
all right, we're having way too much fun here, right? So much fun. But go ahead, Denise, and then I want to.
Dick pics.
Yeah.
What's your thought? What's the
dick pics?
Yeah. So if no one ever wanted a dick pic, if no one ever wanted to receive one in the whole of the world, then none would ever be sent. So at some point in time, they have been well received, some of them, okay? So again, back to what I said in the beginning, it is all about consent and timing. So you don't want a dick pic over your cornflakes, potentially, So
one at Walmart.
So what? Again, it's like, would you like me to send you a cheeky pic? It's and just see what the response is like, because some people do like them, but also it's hard to get a really nice one. Like you got the lighting and the camera, and
got to hire a photographer.
Yeah. Oh, geez.
So I think it's BS that no one likes them or wants them. I do think that when they're unsolicited, they can be problematic.
I agree.
Hey, I've got a story for you though. Oh my gosh. When I was first getting into it, right, I quite liked my breasts. And I took this really sexy photo of them, and this guy asked for a photo, and this was really early in my journey because I decided I wouldn't do it soon after this. But anyway, and so I sent him the picture of my breast, and then I realised it was a client. And as it's going, it was.
Oh my goodness!
It's blending, and you're going. It's like it's in slow motion. No. And so I ring this client and I'm like, it's still sending. I can't get it back. You're about to get a picture of my boobs. Can you please? And he's like, I'm here with my girlfriend and my 2 adult children. Anyway, so I was preaching at the time, and he came into I said, can you just, as soon as you get it, just delete it or whatever. Anyway, he came into the office like a week later, and he said, I think we need to address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
But you owned it. Yeah.
And he's still a client to this day. So it's like 7 years later or something. So it didn't, but it was like that. It's like,
we're human.
Be very, very careful as well, because once they're out there, they're out there.
They're out
totally.
There. Sure.
All right, Maureen, how do folks find you?
So How to Get Laid on Tinder is the book. So it's howtogetlaidontinder.com. So you can just get it on Amazon, Kindle, or hard copy.
Okay. All right, great. Thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. It was lovely. Great to talk to you.
And thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Kisses, hugs.
Bye.
Bye.